We begin tonight with IMPD strategy to clean up a drug spot here in downtown Indianapolis. This after a mass overdose that sent 6 people to the hospital. Thanks for inviting us in. At 6 o'clock, I'm Scott Swan.
And I'm Jenny Runovich in tonight for Anne Marie, who's covering the Olympics. So IMPD is focused on an area just outside their headquarters after multiple arrests around Luger Plaza. Tonight, our Ashton Hackman shares what the downtown district commander says is the solution to cleaning things up.
Downtown District Commander Shane Foley says that the transit center and Luger Plaza brings plenty of people and subsequent problems downtown, but says it's going to be more than policing that will bring solutions to the problems. 5 days after a mass overdose near the transit center sent 6 people to the hospital, the calls haven't slowed down. Police arrested 4 people Friday for smoking and dealing spice at Luger Plaza. 2 more were arrested for active warrants. Then on Sunday, officers arrested a convicted felon allegedly carrying this gun. Another man was arrested for possessing and dealing meth.
Transit is a great way to get people around, but it also brings people to a certain location. Also, it's a public space. We want people to gather in a public space, but we want them to do it in a responsible and lawful manner.
But recent gatherings have often been neither. Since the start of the year, police have filed 53 incident reports within just 1 block of Luger Plaza. 15 of them were narcotics investigations. And since last January, IEMS has been sent here 209 times for possible overdoses. A high-use public space now drawing a high level of illegal activity, even with cameras and officers watching.
The absolute disregard for the law is incredibly frustrating, but we're going to continue to do what we can do to address those at Luger Plaza and in the surrounding area.
Foley says downtown is still the safest district in the city, responsible for less than 5% of all crime in Indianapolis. But he says solving the problems around the transit center and Luger Plaza will take more than just police.
This is not just a police problem alone. We're going to do what we can with enforcement efforts, working with community partners to try to provide resources, but there's only so much that IMPD can do alone.
In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Since 2021, IMPD has handled nearly 2,000 incidents just in that 1-block stretch around Luger Plaza and the Transit Center. They say those extra patrols will continue.
Tonight at 6, we continue to follow breaking news on the near northwest side of Indianapolis. IMPD telling us 2 people were shot in 2 separate shootings.
So these incidents happened just minutes apart. Police tell us 1 person was shot on North Tibbs Avenue near West 20th Street around 4:30 this afternoon.
And then IMPD says another person was shot on Medford Avenue near 19th and Kessler. Both victims said to be stable right now. Police are also telling us they believe the 2 incidents are connected. And we've got some other breaking news, this time out of Beech Grove tonight, where there is a large police presence near Beech Grove High School.
Yeah, officers there are looking for an armed suspect. They are telling people in the area to shelter in place and lock their doors. So want to let you know where this is. Again, this is in Beech Grove. All of this unfolding within the last half hour. We have a crew headed to the scene at Diplomat Court near Emerson Avenue right now. Again, that is in Beech Grove. We'll let you know as soon as we get any updates on air and online, WTHR.com.
After morning fog, we had some sunshine this afternoon, and it was a warm Monday. We ended up at 60 degrees in Indianapolis, now down to 56. We have 55 Greensburg, 56 at Morse Reservoir, 54 in Crawfordsville. Fog will be an issue for some early tomorrow morning, so maybe a few extra minutes to get where you're going early on our Tuesday. It'll be a warm evening under partly cloudy skies. Temperatures stay in the 50s. Then we drop into the upper 30s with patchy dense fog early tomorrow morning. We are at 50 at noon tomorrow, and high temperatures even with more clouds and sunshine on Tuesday, 55 to 60 degrees. We are tracking a couple of rain chances, one Tuesday night into early Wednesday, and another one on Thursday. We may end up with some thunderstorms on Thursday. I'll cover that in the 7-day in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit, Angela. Thanks. An apparent road rage incident ended with a serious crash on the west side of Indianapolis. All of this happening during a very foggy morning.
As our Rich Nye reports, 1 woman's now in the hospital and another took off after calling police for help.
A woman driving a Lincoln Town car on Washington Street near Sigsbee Street called 911 about 3:15 Monday morning. She said another woman driving a Kia Sorento was waving a gun at her. Police say they caught up with both cars on 465 North. Both cars allegedly slowed down as if to stop near Crawfordsville Road, but the Kia took off. Police say they lost sight of the Kia Sorento when it fled the traffic stop into the fog, but they found it not too far down the road when it crashed into an attenuator on the ramp from 465 north to 74 west. Officers on police radio believe this was a road rage incident.
This started as a disturbance with a weapon, and a vehicle was apparently brake checking another vehicle, took off from officers, and then flipped.
The Speedway Fire Department had to extricate the woman from the Kia. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The woman who called police left the scene before police could talk to her. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
State police are investigating a deadly crash up in Grant County. Police say a car went off the road and hit a tree around 1:30 this afternoon on 600 South near I-69. They tell us 3 people between the ages of 19 and 23 died. A 22-year-old was airlifted to the hospital. Police also tell us they believe alcohol or drugs and speed were factors in that crash.
Tonight at 6, the partial government shutdown continues with no deal in sight.
This stems from a broader stalemate over funding the Department of Homeland Security. Our Jenna Webster explains the changes some Hoosiers are now hoping for.
Democrats in Congress want to see changes to immigration operations after 2 fatal shootings in Minneapolis involving federal agents. It's what we've heard now for weeks, too, from protesters here in central Indiana. A few young Hoosiers spent their President's Day protesting at Monument Circle. One protester says he understands the job ICE agents have, but wants to, quote, make sure they're doing the right thing. The Department of Homeland Security ran out of funding over the weekend as Democrats demand changes to ICE and Border Patrol, including an ID requirement, judicial warrants before immigration arrests, and no masks on officers. DHS says it is acquiring body cameras for officers, another of Democrats' initial demands.
Like, any law enforcement should wear body cameras at all. Like, that's crucial evidence if, like, something were to happen, if, like, someone were to get hurt or even killed. Democratic Congressman Andre Carson voted against the DHS funding bill last month, saying he wants to see changes to unlawful actions and abuse of power. This all comes as ICE plans to open an administrative office in Carmel, but we still today don't know when or why. In Indianapolis, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Radar is clear tonight, but I am tracking a couple rounds of rain and storms in your 7-day.
But first, a new report detailing how children are doing here in Indiana.
We're breaking down the numbers and seeing how Hoosiers compare to the rest of the country. Coming up.